even with the wet weather, you can do something that will keep you motivated throughout the day, and that is for you to turn on the music. Music has power, and it can boost your productivity, improve cognitive function, and encourage motivation. Because this kind of weather, and it's been raining since last night, you feel like to just remain in bed. Even if you go out, you don't feel like really putting a lot of effort. You're already tired. You want to just enjoy the coolness of the weather. So something that you can do that can keep you moving, productive, go about doing your business even with the cool weather, is to turn up the music. That will help you to go a long way, and then you can thank me later. My name is Mary Onaife Edebi. Welcome to the front page review. I have the headlines to give to you, as I always do every morning, Monday to Friday. And after the headlines, we'll move straight to the top stories, the issues in the news. And oh boy, there is so much we need to talk about. So a lot of issues in the news this morning. We'll start with this day newspaper. The first headline here says, Atiku, I'm not quitting. I will remain in politics as long as I breathe. That headline is in this day newspaper. Tension in Rivers as a massive protest cripples activity over plan to impeach Fubara. That's also here in this day newspaper. FEC OK's 2.1 trillion naira supplementary budget for 2023. And now we'll move now to the Guardian newspaper. We have here that more than 70 missing in northern Nigeria, riverboat accident. That story is in the Guardian newspaper. CBN says Falana lacks low-cost standing to challenge naira depreciation. FEC proposed 2.2 trillion naira supplementary budget for road repairs palliatives. Federal government launches e-ticketing for Lagos, Ibadan, Warri, Itakpe rail line. And also here in the Daily Trust newspaper. Now we're done with the Guardian. Let's move to the Daily Trust newspaper this morning. Boko Haram may wipe Nigeria off the map, says Zulum. And stay here in the Daily Trust says Wike plans to remove Fubara, install Rivers Speaker as governor, says Edwin Clark. After 69 days in custody, popular Kwara traditionalist granted bail. And still in the Daily Trust this morning, we see here that NGO vaccinates 20,000 kids as Sokoto record 25% child mortality. That's in the Daily Trust newspaper. And stay here at Tico, Nigeria doomed if Supreme Court implies that crime should be rewarded. We killed adopted pastor in error, Ogu security outfits admits. And that's all from the Daily Trust newspaper. We'll move to the Punch now. We have here that retire now. Presidency tells Atiku, ex-VP, rubbishes Supreme Court judgment. 70 corpses, skeletons uncovered near Abia cattle market, says government. And Rivers Assembly in crisis as Wike's loyalist move to impeach Fubara. And also here in the Punch, Abuja, Lagos protesters oppose 160 million SUV for lawmakers. Okay, that story is here in the Punch newspaper. Abuja, Lagos protesters oppose 160 million naira SUV for lawmakers. Nigeria, Germany sign MOU on solid mineral exploration. UK court adjourns Diziani's £100,000 bribery case. And now to the Nation's newspaper this morning. Rivers quakes as governor gets impeachment notice. Now the writer says Assembly splits into two fraction sacks. CJ Fubara's fires Wike's loyalist, says I can't be impeached. UK court declines request seeking release of Tinubu's FBI records. FEC OK's 2.17 trillion naira 2023 supplementary budget. Now the writer says 5.9 billion naira for Abuja Light Rail Access Roads. And still in the nation's newspaper, Nigeria and Germany signed $700 billion solid mineral exploration pact. And also here let's move to the Vanguard. I think enough of the nations. To the Vanguard this morning. Chaos erupts in rivers. Chaos erupts in rivers. That's what the headline here says. Autonomy, Oyo, Edo, Kano, Ogun, Ondo assembly workers begin indefinite strike. That is in the Vanguard newspaper. ICPC files criminal charges against suspended Unico professor. And also here in the Vanguard, we have that Onanuga advises Atiku to end vain presidential pursuit. Protest. Benue Varsity suspend 600 level medical student for a month. And still in the Vanguard, another story here says that terrorists kill chief imam, adopt hunter in a Borno community. Now, the writer says set Islamic book ablaze as a NAF strike kills over 22 terrorists in Borno. And also here, another writer says that they destroyed terrorists' explosive weapons ordinances. Now, let's take a look at the Sun newspaper. Rivers boys as governor faces impeachment. Suspended talks sets assembly complex on fire. Nobody will remove me. I'm ready to die, says Fubara. Drama. Another story here in the Sun newspaper. It's your inordinate ambition that is doomed, says presidency. That story is in the Sun newspaper. Over 90 million Nigerians lack electricity, says Tinubu, as the writer says, as federal government threatens to revoke Disco's, Genco's licenses. Now, these are your headlines this morning from all of these newspapers, 7 of them. We'll now move to look at the stories here, the issues in the news. You know, the prominent one this morning is what is happening in Rivers State. The drama there is quite interesting. Now, that's what was trending throughout yesterday, and it's on all of the papers. Fubara saying that he's ready to die. You know, politicians can be very dramatic. I'm connecting with Rufai right now, so we could start talking. He's going to give his own perspective to the stories, analyze it. Obeda is also standing by. And then after all of this, we'll open the phone lines for you to call in and join the conversation. I have Rufai Hussaini. Good morning to you, sir. Yeah, I'm here. I can hear you.
Hello, Mary, I can hear you.
Okay, great. So how are you doing today? It's a rainy day.
We thank God for the rain. The heat was so much lately.
Yeah.
We were to cool everything. And I pray peace will come to Nigeria. We just hope that our Naira keeps doing well. In the last couple of days, it's been doing well. We just hope that is sustained. We want good things to come to our country because we all benefit.
Yeah. Talking about, we pray that things should be doing well, things should happen well. Have you heard in Rivers State, all the papers are carrying it. Chaos in Rivers, drama in Rivers. Fubara saying he's ready to die. He can't be impeached. Wike fraction, people supporting Wike and people supporting Fubara and all of that. I like your take on, I know we spoke about it yesterday, but I like your take because the drama is getting really tense.
It's a sad one for Nigeria. And whoever is orchestrating this drama should be called to order. A democratically elected governor, and all of a sudden they want to impeach him in a motopark style, which is wrong. The state has become ungovernable as we speak. Rivers needs a lot of governance, but the people are fighting. In a sweeping move yesterday, the governor had to take position and make some key decisions. He says he's going to give a press conference today. A governor was shot at Mary yesterday. What has Nigeria become? Because they want to impeach him. They say gross misconduct. What is the gross misconduct? And I think we need to go back and check our laws that makes it very easy for them to impeach governors. Because what the law says is, yes, you are going to have a process where you serve an impeachment within a 7 days notice. Then from there you accelerate the process. Then the impeachment process is reviewed until finally is impeached. So this has started. Despite the fact that the house was burnt, the other lawmakers went to reconvene somewhere and they still served an impeachment notice on the governor. So it's now a fight for all. It's a fight for the soul of Rivers. The governor spoke to elders, the likes of Rufus and the likes of Paike Clark have taken a position, calling Wike out on this. I think, for the love of mercy, we should save Nigeria this shame from Rivers State. Rivers State is an oil-producing state, and resource to be used for the development of its people, not for bickering and fighting. And we must shun this godfatherism in our politics. Why is all of this happening? In a former interview, Wike said he would not take that. That interview is now trending again. So what is all of this going on? What is a pattern? Mary, I keep talking about we've built a bad culture. Exactly. This was how it happened with Amechi. Now it's happening again. The question is, who's next? Except we stop this culture. And we've also built a culture of violence. You saw the deputy governorship candidate in Bayelsa during a campaign saying they should kill people. They should drive them down the water and kill people. That not be today, people will start to die.
Can imagine, oh.
Can you imagine? But are you surprised? That same man has been known to be an ex-militant. In fact, there was a case against him in court and he was found guilty of atrocities. He's an ex-convict. He was convicted in a law court. So that's the kind of country we run. It's not the best of us that lead the rest of us. It's the worst of us. Nigeria has built a culture. As long as you can have violence, kill people, that's when you get your reign. You see, and those are the things that Atiku Abubakar was saying in his speech yesterday. When he talked about the fact that he will remain in body to be able to echo voices. Although a lot of people will say he's old already, that he should take the back seat, but he said he wants to support a lot of people. But what he was still talking about was integrity. Reaffirming the case of Bola Tinubu that should we now all look away because the Supreme Court has ruled on the facts of the matter that a school that issued your certificate said that you claim issued your certificate said they didn't issue it. So what kind of environment and society are we building? So these are the things we should say. Then the next thing, Bayo Onanuga replies by attacking Atiku by saying he too, there's a case of corruption against him and all of that. So how come we have a society where it is only people that have corrupt pasts that are already leading us or wanting to lead us? But for Bayo Onanuga, he also forgets that there's a case of civil forfeiture of 460,000 for drug offenses against President Tinubu. So you see, it's just we've just built a culture that I don't see that will lead a nation to success. That's Nigeria today.
Yeah, and also in the news it says that the FBI had even announced that it will no longer release Tinubu's alleged criminal records. I think one of the papers also carried that story.
No, they didn't say they will no longer release Tinubu's records. They will release records bearing his name.
They won't release records bearing his name.
Yeah. So obviously, what happened was the journalists that worked on the story, some people got a scoop. Some other journalists wanted to take credit for the work of David Omodeyi. So once they published that, they alerted people on the other camp, and they decided, seeking legal steps and all of that, court cases and all of that. So that's what it always happens. That's the problem.
Yeah. So it says here that U.S. court declines request seeking release of Tinubu's FBI records. So Atiku said, like you said, it's not going anywhere anytime soon. It's still very much in politics. But let's see how it pans out. Some Nigerians are saying that it might be too old by the next election, or he should be there, but maybe build another formidable team, maybe nominate someone. But with time, we'll get to know what will happen in PDP, because the fractured PDP right now is fractured. Another story here. It's about the supplementary budget. It's being recorded here that the supplementary budget, FEC has okayed it, 2.1 trillion supplementary budget for the 2023.
We keep taking a lot of supplementary budget. No big deal, though. But isn't it time for us to start cutting our cut according to our size? Let's not deceive ourselves. Nigeria doesn't have money. Mary, let me tell you how bad things are. For this 10 billion loan we're doing, do you know how we're going to pay back that loan? The future earnings from NLNG is what we're going to use. So we are securitizing our loans against future earnings. So money we've not earned. It's just like me telling you, Mary, that I'll give you a loan, but you will pay it back. You will secure that loan once you now sign up that your salary for the next 5 years will come to me. Can you imagine that? And that money you want to spend it today. So you're not going to have salary for the next 5 years. That's what Nigeria is doing now. As regards that 10 billion that is coming in. And you see, once the 10 billion come in, we can probably only use that money. Yeah, once we clear our encumbrances, maybe 6.5 or 7 billion, the money is as good as done. So how do we have more money to now reflate the economy? And our earnings are not great. Because over the years, crude oil theft has taken away our earnings. Gas that is even supposed to be giving us money, we've not even invested in gas. Nigeria has bigger reserves than countries like Egypt. But yet, our total gas earnings is like 40% of what Egypt makes. So, it just speaks volumes.
It does.
Our country. It speaks volumes.
Yeah. But let's just be hopeful that after we've taken the loan of the $10 billion, give us time to put the house in order, so that by the time we're done, we exhaust the loan to pay the backlogs and everything. Maybe the system will be running then, and then we'll be able to stabilize the Naira. Because I know once that money is being injected, what we're seeing now, the appreciation of the Naira will continue. But for how long? That's the question everybody is asking. Another story here, we have that there are people protesting in Abuja. They oppose the 160 million Naira SUVs for lawmakers. They are protesting. But the protesters, do you think it holds any water? Or just a waste of time?
It's not a waste of time. You have a right of protest by the law. Everybody has a right of protest. So at least it will be on record they made their voices heard. In fact, we should commend them and appreciate them. It will be on record and they made their voices heard. That's just it.
And we have another story. This one is quite sad. It's about a boat mishap in Taraba. It said that many are feared dead. It said about 100 passengers. Other papers recorded that about 70. This one is saying that, I think this is the Sun newspaper, that many feared dead as a boat carrying 100 passengers capsized. Now, this is not the first time we'll see news like this of dilapidated boats carrying hundreds of people risking their lives. And we hear of boats capsizing, we hear of people dying, and it's quite sad. We'll hope that something can be done about this, so that even if it's going to happen, it should be rarely. In fact, very rare. But we see it a lot in the news these days about people dying from boat mishap. And this is another one.
Mary, you see what I talk about culture. You remember when the last boat mishap happened and we're all crying the loss of life? What did I say? I said it will happen again. What I was just saying was not that I was being a prophet of doom, but by the cultural explanation of how we do things in Nigeria, evil is set to happen again because we have a culture where people don't learn from mistakes and they don't fix mistakes. That's why we are so easy to vote in bad leaders over and over again. And corruption is set to continue over and over again. So until we now start to change this culture, I mean, boats mishap. Don't you have a body that sacrifices the boat that is on the water? How did those boats even get on the water? Did the people have life jackets in the first place? Those are the factors. So wherever accidents happen, there's an element of somebody not doing things right. Sometimes when you look. But because we have a culture where we don't hold people accountable, probably if we have a culture that people that operate that boat are taken to task by the law, people will never do that again. So we have a culture where anything goes. And really, that's what affects all of our national life. That's why we don't go anywhere.
Yeah. Now, before I let you go, Rufai, Governor Babagana Zulum of Borno State made a statement. He warned that if we don't handle the issue of Boko Haram, that it will consume the nation. He was speaking at the Development NEDC, Northeast Development Commission. He was speaking there and he said, because of this IDP camps that we have everywhere, it's a ticking time bomb that if we don't do anything about it, the issue of Boko Haram is still very prominent and it has the capacity to wipe out the whole nation. That's what he said.
I'll tell you a story, Mary, to corroborate what he said. He didn't lie. See, after the Metiseni riots of the 80s, the federal government set up a panel of inquiry. And the panel of inquiry came out with a report, and this was like 83, 84, 1980, that's 40 years ago. That if we do not nip poverty and all employment that was pervasive in the north, in the bud, it will lead to more Metiseni riots and uprising and terrorism. 1983, 84. Because we have a culture of impunity and not listening to the reports, just like that's why I was upset to ask Mr. Jega the other day that you are saying that the president should not be able to pick INEC chief. But there's no big deal in what you said because that was what you people wrote in the Wage report over 30 years ago that was not implemented till date. So because we have the culture of impunity, we don't implement reports, we don't take it serious. We didn't implement that report and look for steps to remedy the situation and bring development back to that area. 40 years after, we have bred full-blown terrorism in Nigeria. This thing was seen 40 years ago. What Papa Zana Zulum is just saying is that the next breed of Boko Haram for the next 30, 40 years is being bred because of the insecurity and the camps, the IDP camps you are putting them if you don't do something about it. But based on the culture I know we have, if we don't do anything about it, the problem of insecurity not to continue for another 40 years. So you already have the ready-made tools already. The children that will be recruited to go and kill people the next 30, 40 years, they are already being bred as we speak in Nigeria. So like we implement reforms, like we don't do it, we already have a steady stream of violent agitator children that will carry guns and be able to be shooting and all of that. Because hope you know, if you check Boko Haram today, children that were born when Boko Haram started are already now being incorporated into carrying guns and killing people. That's the way Nigeria works. Because as we speak today, Boko Haram is getting to over 10, 12 years. Before you know it, in the next 20, it will already, because it's already been a permanent cultural problem now. So you can see automatically we now have a culture of violence ingrained. And let me tell you something. The sad reality is that we have now accepted it. So the truth is, if we don't do something, the breeding ground for the next 40, 50 to 100 years is already being bred on the ground. That's all Babangida Zulu will be saying.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bless you.
Yeah, thank you, Rufai. Do enjoy the rest of your day.
Thanks. Bless you, Raja.
Yeah. We'll go for a short break now. We'll be back after this. Keep it here. Voice of the People, 90.3 FM.
Are you looking for the perfect getaway?
Look no further than the luxurious accommodations at Airport Golden Tulip Hotel, Lagos, number 42, Muritala Muhammad International Airport Road, Lagos.
Relax and unwind in a beautifully appointed rooms featuring all the amenities you need for a comfortable stay.
Whether you're traveling for business or pleasure, our attentive staff is here to ensure that your everyday need is met. We also offer complimentary pick-up and drop-off from the Lagos airport.
Take advantage of our state-of-the-art fitness center, outdoor pool, and enjoy a delicious meal at our on-site restaurant.
With stunning views, world-class service, and a prime location, Airport Golden Tulip Hotel, Lagos is the perfect choice for your next vacation or business trip.
So, why wait? Book your stay today and experience ultimate in comfort and luxury at Airport Golden Tulip Hotel.
For bookings and reservations, please call 0815-8003-333 or 0815-7003-333. You can visit our website at airportgoldentuliphotel.com.
Airport Golden Tulip Hotel, where luxury meets comfort.
The award-winning pizza in the US is now here in Nigeria. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Romeo, the pizza champions, and cold berry ice cream. Light in every scoop. Visit any of our outlets and feel the rich taste from the pizza champions and cold berry ice cream at 11 Road by First Avenue, Festac Town, 28 at Denira Ogunsanya Street, Surulere, 13 Admiralty Way, Lekki Phase 1. Romeo's Pizza and cold berry ice cream. Romeo, the pizza champions. Are you aware that Iruka Online Limited installed and designed a 100,000 capacity church building? Oh yeah, we are the sole distributors of global leading brands all over the world, such as Wafte Line Array, speakers and digital amplifiers, Preseno's digital mixers and studio equipment, Coswell workstations and keyboards, Fender guitars, Mapex drums, Ashdown bass combos, just to mention but a few. We offer flexible payment plan handled by our financial department with 24/7 customer care support system. You can visit our website on www.iruka.com to avoid buying fake products. You can also visit our showroom at number 36 Lagos International Airport Road beside Golden Tulip Hotel. Iruka, never settle for less.
You're listening to Voice of the People, 90.3 FM. My name is Mary Onaife Edebi. The program is the Front Page Review. I have Obed Awede with me, joining me via the network to analyze the stories here. Obed, good morning to you.
Yeah, good morning, Mary.
Hope you're doing great this morning.
Well, very well.
Now to the top story here. Let's just look at this one. Although we talked about it before, but it's still in the news. I would like to get your perspective. It's about what is happening in River State. That's on one hand, and also we also have a prominent story here of Atiku saying that he's going nowhere. He's going to remain remain relevant. He's going to be in our faces, and I think those two stories.
Okay, well, the River State one just happened on us yesterday. We were looking at it as if it was a joke when it broke in the morning that there was a fire in the River State House of Assembly. And then in the morning, we now got this whole story about the governor, under the threat of impeachment. So yesterday, the governor even addressed, his supporters where he actually said the words that, look, that he doesn't understand why they want to impeach him. That means it's that there was a plot that was ongoing. It is just strange because we never thought that the relationship between Wike and his godson, the governor, will actually collapse in less than 1 year. this is just less than 6 months. And then in less than that period, it has collapsed. Collapsed on a few things. Now, the whole allegation we're hearing under the table is that the governor was holding meetings with Ameshi's people. The governor was trying to revise some of Ameshi's projects. And Wike seems to have an obsession with decimating Ameshi and making sure that he doesn't have a legacy in that state at all. So it is that as long as he had that coming, he start of everything against the governor. And I think he made a mistake. Look, it's difficult to actually remove a governor who knows what to do with power. Because this whole thing is about power equation and a relationship. You are a sitting governor of a very powerful state, very rich state like River State, and a state that has a diverse population. You know, there are the Ikweres, there are the Calabaris, the Opobos, the Ogonis, and the rest of it. So a diverse state like that is a very difficult thing to actually execute. Wike thought he had got it because as soon as the man came, 4 of his commissioners, he retained them in their positions. He nominated all the key positions. The Speaker of the House is from his local government to Obi Akpo. So he thought that everything was going good. But look at it, a couple of hours, the thing turned from 24 against the governor to against the governor that moved out the majority leader. And then under 26 coming to say, no. We have impeached the Speaker and so on. So tactically, River State has 2 factions of his state assembly. It's unfortunate that it has come to this point, but we also that it will come to this point because of the kind of character of which a very domineering personality is somebody who wants his agenda to actually come through at all times. Last year, when I was analyzing in October, I said that whoever takes a Wike in his camp, you know, is going to have a lot of problems because you have to manage him. So at that point, that was why Atiku dropped and said, well, he doesn't want to have all these issues of managing somebody that was scattered, that you didn't quite know where it was going in terms of ambition. But of course, Tinubu took him on. So it's that Tinubu's cross to bear. I handles the situation in River State good enough. Per Clark has already advised him that he should be very, very careful. Yes, Wike is a loyalist and so on, but if he overreaches himself, he runs the risk of destabilizing the state and destabilizing the economy, because River State is one of the most militarized states in this country. What do I mean? If you go to River State, cult groups, former militants and the rest of them, they are so armed. So much arms, small arms. In River State, the report that came out, River State has one of the largest concentrations of small arms. From you can see the kind of characters from River State. Asari Dokubo, only a few months ago, he was in a viral video where you have people with guns, you know, AK-47 and the rest of them around him. Those are the kind of people you have in River State that are so weaponized in society that it's difficult for one man to actually exercise, Godfather power for a very long time. And I think it's what we will see play out. If the president doesn't handle it well, of course, will have effect on our oil industry, on incomes. He cannot afford to have that kind of crisis. So I think the whole thing will play out in the next few days and so on and so forth. But I feel that Wike will be the loser.
But Wike is yet to speak. We're waiting for him. He's yet to, before now I would have responded.
Yes.
He seems to be quiet.
He's yet to speak because I'm sure he has seen the way things have gone. It is possible that it was a rush of decision that some of his aides made, some of his loyalists made, and perhaps they didn't quite read the mood well enough, because I'm sure he's smart enough to know that you must actually gauge when to move against somebody who is as powerful as a governor. Even if you see him as somebody that looks docile. If you recall 4 years ago or so, when Edo State had their own crisis, and then there was a speaker that Shomole was pushing, and then the Obaseki saw that the speaker was not going to be loyal to him. He already had issues with Shomole and the rest of them. What did he do? He moved bulldozers and they bulldoze part of the House of Assembly and put a red tape under construction that they are renovating this. So you find that governors, no matter how this is sheepish they may look, can actually exercise more power because of the way the law protects them. They have immunity, they have access to resources, they have access to security forces. Even within the security forces, you find those. Even when Wike was governor, and he was the fulcrum of the PDP, attacking the APC. Then, despite the fact he was doing, they were still members of the national security forces that were loyal to him. Commissioners, career commanders, and the rest of them, because of the fact that he has resources to spread around. But Wike will not talk. I'm sure they must advise him that, look, don't just get into this. Let this play out, and then we see how it goes. Then on Atiku,
yeah,
I agree with him. He doesn't have to be president to be relevant. You know, people say, "Oh, his president is over. His ambition, long term. Everybody has an ambition. Tinubu had a lifelong ambition. He told us himself to be president. There's nothing wrong with it. He has done it. He failed. Fine. But the thing is that he has to be there because he has clout. He has reach across the country, and he should be able to do something that is selfless. Perhaps be someone that's able to galvanize a new opposition base to actually, take on this government. Because right now, as it is, we don't have opposition at all. Somebody like Wike, who is a PDP member, is in the APC. So it's like a fifth columnist in the APC.
Do you think that Obi and Atiku can work together? Do you see them working together in future?
Yes. Let me just tell you, if Peter Obi is not under the illusion that in the next 3.5 years that it will make a massive impact against a sitting President Tinubu, if he's not under that illusion, then I think he will work with Atiku. But you see, politicians may just look at his base. Oh, and I made so much votes and so on and so on. In the next 3.5 years, I can assure you that Peter Obi will not get these numbers that he had. Why? A couple of people have moved on. And after the victory, if people come to the table to share offices and resources, they will prize most of the members away. The kind of resources to make that kind of push again will not be there. And against a sitting president, so I think it will be best for Atiku, Kwankwaso, and Obi to get together and then look at the rump of the PDP. Because whether you like it or not, PDP is still the biggest opposition party. Look at the rump of the PDP and see how you can rebuild it into a good opposition party. So that if you get to have voices that will be taking on the Tinubu administration in terms of his economy, foreign policy, and the rest of them, and then we can have a government that is actually on its toes. So it's in their interest and in the national interest for all of them to get together to actually build an opposition. I don't see Atiku running for president in 3.5 years' time. No, I don't see him.
Thank you very much, Ube Dawede. It's a pleasure speaking with you.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah, enjoy the rest of your day. Now, the phone lines are open for you to join the conversation. 0700 903 903 903. That's the number to call. 0700 903 903 903. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Mary.
Yeah, good morning. Ikan from Isola. Your voice is a bit low this morning. Is it the weather?
Yes, the weather is somehow, and it's also started raining again.
Oh.
I don't know. So, but well, we see cope with it, no problem.
Yeah.
Mary,
Yes.
I feel so bad this morning. It's only because you cannot allow me to speak the way I want to speak concerning the situation of the country. Mary, the governor of the Borno State said, if care is not taken, hello, are you with me?
Yeah, I'm listening.
Okay. If care is not taken, that Boko Haram will wipe out Nigerians in the face of the land. And this is a government that tells us that Boko Haram is thing of the past. They have degraded Boko Haram. There's nothing like that. Where is Lai Mohammed? I think he should bury his face in shame, having coming to lie to Nigerians for the past 8 years. And today, somebody is lamenting about the situation in the country. Ndume said that what IPOP did is worse than Boko Haram. But I have never heard when they report that IPOP went to go and kill, burn down school, kidnap people, destroy property of the government. You can see the kind of country we are running. Lies upon lies upon lies and deceit. And you think we can get away with this? I am sure, and I'm very, very sure, that the Supreme God, who is more than every other person, would judge everybody that contributes to the situation of this country at this time. For the past 8 years, Nigeria has just been suffering. And today we still want to continue like that. And you think we can move forward like this? Man, it's a shame to this country. It's a very big shame to us at this situation of this. I am not happy this morning. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Calm down. Take a cup of hot tea or coffee and calm down. 0700 903 903 903. That's the number. You can send in a WhatsApp message too. I'm going to read it out. Hello, good morning.
Mary, you see what God has been doing these days. After I can yesterday, it was me. And this morning, after I can, it was me. From Chevrolet.
Yes, maybe you planned it.
You see the spirit of Akwa Ibom on Voice of the People.
Yes,
that's very interesting.
Yeah.
And very luckily as well, he went to the topic I wanted to say something about.
Yes.
Somebody telling us that if they don't do something, that Boko Haram will wipe away the whole country. They will never wipe away the whole country. They are not God. God knows the way to deal with them. Mary, I just want to be very brief this morning,
yes.
And maybe I will sing one song. With what is happening in Rivers State, Wike want to play God. He served for 8 years. He was allowed to serve. He was like an emperor, according to Biden Clark. And now he installed somebody. At the end of the day, you don't allow that person to work. Wike want to play God, but the God of heaven will do something. And Atiku Abubakar tell us that even the drug issue that Tinubu was involved in, Supreme Court did not look that direction. Even when they see, the Chicago University said the certificate he gave to INEC did not emanate from them. Supreme Court did not do something. They are Supreme Court in Nigeria, but we have Supreme Court in heaven that is handled by the God who created the whole universe, who created them, who created life and death. And then the person that is telling us that Boko Haram might wipe away Nigeria tomorrow. Mary, where are the Chibok girls? 9 years now, a whole generation of girls in the school. The only crime they committed was to go to school, to be like their wives and their children. And then Boko Haram went and carried them. And this, the man that is the vice president today was the governor of that state that time. They could not bring back these girls. And then Zamfara State, the former governor, with what is happening there. Mary, my song goes this way. Only you can do what no man can do, Jehovah may. I'm calling on Jehovah God that Nigerians cannot do anything. We don't carry guns. They don't allow us to assemble and talk.
Thank you.
Sometimes even to talk on the radio to express your mind, it becomes difficult. So God of heaven, only you can do for Nigeria what no man can do, Jehovah may. Let me stop so far.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, I appreciate you. Thank you very much. Now, let's take another call. Hello, good morning.
Meticulous Mary.
Mr. Darlington. The call is just back to back. I'm fine. How is Ijeoma Egwuatu City?
Yeah, the weather is cool and calm over here.
Okay, that's great. Go ahead, sir.
Mary, we were all here when Wike was hobnobbing with politicians in Lagos. And I said it that Wike is coming to take some lectures here. I'm sure he has graduated, and the result is what you are seeing in Rivers State. But he forgot that the environment is not the same. The last time I checked, the Rivers State is populated mostly by Igbos. They will resist him. Wike will burn both his feet and his fingers in Rivers State. This Godfather he wants to play, he will not succeed, no matter how he try. I said it yesterday that look, he should go and learn what we did to Okorocha in Imo State. Where is Okorocha today? From that part of the country, we don't have Godfather. Nobody play Godfather to anybody. We can forgot to learn this lesson. So whoever is projecting him for presidency or whatever, he cannot destroy the destiny of river people for his own selfish interest. It cannot work. The resources that made him came from River State. It was never his father's money. The money that Wike is using to bluff and play God, it does not belong to him. He cannot play God in rivers. I have told River people to resist him. Let the heaven fall. Wike cannot succeed in what he wants to do in river. He has finished his time. Let him go and rest. Peter B finished his time in Anambra. Since that time to today, Peter B have never gone to Anambra to ask for anything or even talk to the governor. Why do we have politicians who are the very reverse of politics? And people are supporting this kind of characters, destroying our destiny, destroying our commonwealth for their own selfish interest. For how long? After weekend now, another character will prop up somewhere and people will be clapping for them. For what? Everybody in Rivers should gang up against Wike. He will not succeed in what he wants to do.
Thank you.
He's not a god. Yes, they should resist him.
Thank you.
The last time I checked, when it happened somewhere, we see how we ended up.
Thank you, Mr.
We tolerate these people and allow them. At the end of the day, they destroy everything that we hold so dear.
Thank you, Mr. Darlington. Thank you very much.
For what reason?
Thank you, Mr. Darlington. Thank you for calling. I appreciate you. Okay, 0700 903 903 903. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Mary.
Yeah, good morning to you, sir. What's your name and location?
My name is Godson. I'm calling from Egbeda, Lagos.
Okay, is it Comrade Godson?
Godson, Godson. Godson.
Okay, Godson. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead, sir.
Thank you, my sister. I think I'm very much happy to be linked to this morning. I've been trying this line all this while.
Yeah.
But glory be to God.
Yes, glory be to God.
May the Lord continue to strengthen you people there in Jesus' name. See, the problem we have in this country actually does not only consist on the politicians alone, but rather we, the followers. I am thinking that it's like these people have just cleansed our brain, our system, our innermost thoughts, that we cannot even emulate the people outside this country. The way they behave, it is like we believe that our lives and destiny are in the hands of these so-called politicians that made us to begin to follow people because they are chanced to be in a particular position. Just like one person said, where are these people? The people likes of Lai Mohammed and the other people that have been lying all these 80 years. And another lie has emanated against this country. And we are still following them the way they said we should follow them. Let me go